Hello and welcome to the Audi FIS Ski World Cup, coming to you live from Finland's biggest and premier winter resort of Levi for the opening slalom of the men's tour. It's round 1 of 11, taking us through some of the classic winter resorts around the world, all the way through to our World Cup finals in Norway, Lillehammer, at the end of March from the 21st to the 25th. Today, this first slalom has the world's best, with a few butterflies in their tummies, but ready to rumble on the Levi Black Piste. And of course, this wonderful resort and racetrack provided us with a thrilling women's slalom opener here 24 hours ago, and it will be the same for the men. All of the big stars are here, literally from all over the world. The best of the best, from Switzerland to Austria, from Italy to France, from Great Britain to the United States of America, all looking for a very important, good and solid early season start, as not only is this a very important World Cup race and World Cup season, but of course for many the highlight of 2026 will be the 25th Winter Olympic Games in Milan, Cortina, Italy, hosted from the 6th to the 22nd of February in 2026. Now, the buzz about town is all about the Vikings, the Norwegian team who are fielding 9 athletes in this opening slalom of the season, including this gentleman on screen, Timmy Haugen, the winner of the last World Cup race on the men's tour back in March to wrap up 2025. Lucas Pinheiro Bratton representing Brazil and looking to bring South America their first ever World Cup victory in today's season opener. So as we said earlier, round 1 of 11 on the slalom tour for 2026. Gurgel next weekend, and then into December with Val d'Isère, Alta Badia, Madonna, Adelboden, Wengen, Kitzbühel, Schladming, Kranjska Gora, and on the 25th of March 2026, the last slalom of the season in Lillehammer in the resort of Hafjell in Norway. Now, last year's winner, Clement Noel, is one of the big pre-race favourites, as is the defending slalom champion, Henrik Kristoffersen, who has won here twice before and has 6 podiums against his name. For me, Kristoffersen deservedly the pre-race favourite. He'll be hoping to ski in the same way that Schifrin demonstrated yesterday on this interesting, very unique track. And of course, Levi is Finland's biggest and premier winter resort. Some 44 pistes, 27 lifts, and you can come and have a ski on this racetrack yourself. come and have a go, as they say, if you think you're good enough. It's a great piece. Starts off quite flat and certainly gives you plenty of time to find an early rhythm, and then a really good steep pitch right in the center of the tracks. Let's have a look at a few of the stats here. Nice and cold, winter is with us, -10 to -12 degrees Celsius from top to bottom. 2 runs, the name of the game. Croatian coach Pavel Grasic has set 69 gates with a 60% gradient, the steepest pitch of the race hill here today. Big start list once again, over 81 races. And as many of you learned in yesterday's women's competition, only the fastest 30 qualify from the first leg to race out for the points and prize money in the second run at lunchtime today. So you can see for yourselves from the POV camera here that it's a very inviting, smooth, flowing racetrack. And the undulations, or these rollers that are built into this racetrack, really need to be skied skillfully and with precision. But it's kind of fast and furious at the top part of the challenge, and then the technique comes into play. A big off-swing and round set by Croatia's Grasic. Couple of key undergates, key rhythm changes, and then the athlete now starts to focus on that transition. All the speed that has been built up on that steep pitch carried to yet another flat, inviting closing section. Tempo is high, quick, fast footwork, the name of the game. And there it is, the Levi Black and the opening slalom run of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup for 2025 and 2026. Finnish fans are here in their thousands. They've got plenty to cheer for from their own national team, with Edward Hallberg, the new Finnish #1, taking 8th position in this race last year. So the local fans really do have high hopes for Hallberg in today's opening competition on home snow. Also, two good stories out there before we get racing. As we said earlier, 9 in the Norwegian team, but 4 in the British ski team. That is right, Dave Riding in his last season, going with Laurie Taylor, Billy Major, and a new young addition to the British squad, Luca Carrick-Smith, the older of the 3 Carrick-Smith brothers, making his World Cup debut for the British ski team. I don't think it's been since the 90s that Great Britain has fielded 4 athletes in a World Cup competition. I need to do some homework. I'll stick my neck on the line. 1990, Cortina. Last time Great Britain had 4 skiers on the starting list in a World Cup competition. We wish all of the British racers the best of luck here today. Dave Riding, of course, their big favourite, going with bib number 9, oldest man in the top seed. Now let's have a look at that top seed. Loic Meillard, finishing runner-up in the Slalom Tour standings, gets the action underway. Atle McGrath, we're told, is on sharp form coming into this opener, as is Timon Haugen. Can Brazil win their first World Cup race in the opening slalom of the Tour? Broughton goes 4. Gestrein 5, the Olympic slalom champion, winner last year. Clement Noël goes 6. Christoffersen goes with 7 as the defending slalom champion. New skis for Lina Strasser of Germany goes with 8. And there's Dave Riding, 38 years of age, oldest man in the top seed. He's already announced that he will retire after this season. And now the million-dollar question for the British #1. Knowing that this is his last season, does this take a little bit of the pressure off and give him the ability to raise his game to go a little quicker? Or does he back off a little bit and just enjoy this last season on the road? Fabio Gestrein for Austria. Austria holds the most wins here in Levi. This is the 13th time the men's World Cup Slalom Tour has been contested on the Levi Black, and out of those 12 races so far, Austria have won 5. This gentleman is by far the quickest of the French racers in training. Got a big season ahead of him. He won 4 races last season, Clement Noël, but still didn't finish in the top 3 in the slalom standings. What does that tell us? Well, when it's good with Clement Noël, it's wonderfully good, but it's either feast or famine from the French racer. It's either a win or bust for Clement Noël. He needs to find consistency this season, the defending Olympic champion. Here we go. Switzerland are in the gate. And it is Loic Meillard that will get the action underway. Watching on the screen at the top of the mountain to the left, Lucas Broughton, defending champion, finishing up his warm-up routine. Henrik Kristoffersen, 2 times a winner here, 6 times on the podium, 33 World Cup victories. And Kristoffersen, for me, is the man to beat here today. A very calm, cool and collected pre-race interview from the Norwegian #1. But as he said in his interview himself, there's a little bit of a nervous atmosphere out there. Marcus Valma, race director from the FIS, the International Ski and Snowboard Federation, checks with the jury that we are ready to race. And we are about to go here in Levi, Finland, round 1 of 11 of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Slalom Tour for 2026. Runner-up in the standings last year, Meillard shows us this racetrack at full pace and tempo. Oh, lovely opening turns, confident, very, very smooth. This is his style, he likes to keep it clean. Little off the pace in the opening giant slalom of the season in late November, 14th position in Solden for Loic Meillard, but was 3rd in this race last year, has the confidence. And a racer with 7 World Cup wins, 29 podiums, very clean through the steep, off the steep, onto the flat, and Loic Meillard, well, difficult to pick many faults in that performance. Smooth, clean, error-free, fast from top to finish. Could he have been a little more aggressive? Could have we seen him push a little more, search harder and deeper for speed? Very clean. First of the Vikings, Atle McGrath carries bib number 2 for Norway. Fresh off the back of a podium performance in the opening giant slalom of the season in Solden, Austria. Now, that trademark attacking style. And it's that balance that you need to find on this inviting opening section. Aggression, yes, but you need to be very smooth and clean against that turning ski, juicing them on the rollers. Watch him come into the steep now, just 1/100th. Maybe a little nervous in the opening turns. Can you believe that from a superstar such as Atle McGrath? But now he's going through the gears here. Oh, there's a little buck and kick. Just gets thrown offline, off balance. 3 times a World Cup winner, 16 podiums. He's nice and close to Loic Meillard, but this was not as clean as the current Swiss leader. It's a good power play in the closeout. Oh, McGrath digs deep and finds it in the closing turns. Oh, that was a lovely piece of skiing from that transition of steep to the flat closeout. There's the little stumble that we mentioned. But that almost fired up the Norwegian. Superb skills through the closing turns. McGrath sets the target now at 55.09. Here's his teammate, Timon Haugen. Haugen finished 3rd in the Slalom Tour standings for last season. Four World Cup wins against his name, Timmy Haugen. Most importantly, a brilliant victory at the World Cup finals in Sun Valley, Idaho, back in March. Literally looking to pick it at where he left off. Really powerful, isn't he, in the opening turns? Holds that green light, sector 1 to sector 2. Well, remember last season, Atle McGrath led that Norwegian clean sweep in the Wengen Slalom, and they are looking incredibly well prepared here in Levi today, because look at Timmy Haugen go through the gears. Huge green light at Sector 4. He's taken the lead by how much? Woo! 0.47, right side of the clock for Timmy Haugen. He was in control of that performance literally from the get-go to the finish line. Wonderful skiing skills, searching for that four-line. And that was fast and furious from Timmy Haugen. New leader, new target time, 54.62. Brazil are next in the gate with Lucas Pinheiro Broughton, the 2023 Slalom Globe champion. Now, Lucas picking up podiums in both giant slalom and slalom for Brazil last season. Of course, Norwegian father, but a Brazilian mother. Equally as at home in South America as he is in Scandinavia. But here he comes. It's aggressive work on the upper section. Is it efficient? Watch the clock. Oh, yes, it is efficient. 0.34 ahead here. Now, looking for accuracy, looking for skillful timing here. The rhythm is good, the pace is held, and the tempo is really coming along. Here he comes. Oh, Brazil looking to take the lead. Pinheiro into top position, and by almost half a second. 2 runs is the name of the game, but that is a brilliant opener from Lucas Pinheiro Broughton. Brazil go top of the table. Again, that was a wonderfully measured performance. Locking into that rhythm from the first turn. Let's go to Austria. Fabio Gestrein from the World Cup resort of Solden in the Ottstal Valley. He too coming off the back of a brilliant season close in Sun Valley, Idaho at the World Cup finals. 3rd position there. One of 2 podiums. Big breakthrough. Gestrein now firmly established as a top seed racer. And of course the great Marcel Hirscher still unable to race as he tries to make that remarkable comeback. But Hirscher's won this race 3 times for the Austrian team. But now Marcel is racing for Holland. The pressure is on the likes of Fabio Gestrein, Marco Schwarz, Nicky Matt, to name but a few. It's just not as slick or quick, is it? Confidence that the Norwegians and Brazilians have been demonstrating, not quite there for Fabio Gestrein. Drops down into 4th position. But it's the time difference that is where the pain will come for Gestrein. 1.05 seconds off the pace of Lucas Pinheiro Broughton. The man from Solden leaves himself work to do on the second leg. It's the Olympic slalom champion next in the gate, winner of this race last year. Clement Noël still trying to come to terms with the fact that he won 4 races on the 2025 Audi FIS Ski World Cup Slalom Tour, but still didn't finish in the top 3. And a clear indication that consistency is the name of the game. Now, the French coaches have told us that Clement Noël is not just fast in training, he's super fast. And that word on the street comes true at Sector 1 as the Frenchman takes 0.08 of a second advantage over Lucas Pinheiro Broughton, our current leader for Brazil. The Frenchman still with the green light at Sector 2, but only just 0.03 of a second the right side of the clock. Oh, there's a little wide drift through the banana, or the undergate as we call it. That takes a little bit of the pace and speed out of it, and the clock goes red. Now, Clement Noël, 0.32. He needs to find top gear in the closeout. The Frenchman has the finish line inside Clement Noël. Ooh, 0.41 off the pace. and the shootout for the second run is already starting to load. One mistake on the steep that kept him away from top spot. Oh, look at that footwork from the Frenchman. Beautiful skiing. That's Albert Popov, Bulgaria's World Cup winner from last season. And here is the defending globe champion, Henrik Kristoffersen. He has won the World Cup Slalom Globe, a remarkable 4 times in his career. 33 World Cup wins, 95 podiums, and he believes that those stats, well, they're far from over. 0.11 off the pace, well within his capability. He always tells us that the flat section is not really his type of piste. He'll play his A game, play the ace on the pitch. He's going to have to find something, isn't he? He's 0.38 now. He wears the Audi red bib, telling us that he comes into the new season as the defending champion. Now he needs to go through the gears. Little stiff in the shoulders, Henrik here. Looking a little nervous, maybe. Trying possibly a little too hard. Oh, this is going wrong. 1.05. And Henrik Kristoffersen in the season opener is in trouble here. Henrik Kristoffersen, 1.2. Shaking his head. And this is a skier who's been on the podium here 6 times before. A 2-time winner on the Levi Black. Dare I say, Henrik Kristoffersen looking a little stiff and nervous. Lucas Pinheiro Broughton looking as cool as ever. The German number 1, Lina Strasser. Brand new skis for this Olympic season, switching from the Rossignol team to the new head skis. I asked him quite recently what he thought of them, and he said it's the best choice I've ever made. But 9 years with one ski brand, switching to a new one, can take a little bit of time to be confident with the change in all snow conditions. There's nothing wrong with this. Linus Strasser of Germany is brimming with confidence. He's 0.23 off the pace, right now skiing in runner-up position. Great day for the German ski team here yesterday with Emma Eicher claiming a place on the podium. 3rd position for the new German female star. Just a little late with the timing here. Linus coming off the steep onto the flat, and I'm talking split seconds. But that is where the hundredths are bleeding away. 0.85, 4th position. Solid, I would say, from Germany's Linus Strasser. Well, all you British ski race fans, buckle up, goggles down. Here is Dave the Rocket riding. His parents have come to watch him here today. In the crowd, Dad Carl, Mum Shirley, daughter Nina, they're all here to cheer him on. This is the last time riding will be racing in Levi, Finland. Working so hard up in Kabdalis in the north of Sweden as part of his preparation. He needs those soft feet, flexible ankles on this rolling terrain. Really suits Dave's technique, a technique that he fine-tuned on the plastic ski slopes of the United Kingdom. It's good. These are nice opening turns. Accurate, 0.27. Coming into the pitch, riding's the 2nd quickest man on the mountain so far. Good rhythm, good pace. Oh, just loses a little purchase from the clean arc through the undergate. That will add a 10th. Riding now needs a good transition. It adds more than a 10th. 1.16 off the pace. Riding now needs to pick up the tempo in the closing turns. Dave Riding, finish line within his sights. Dave Riding, oldest man in the top seed, goes into 9th position. 1.37. Plenty of British support in the crowd. It's that undergate that he got wrong, the timing. That added at least half a second to the performance for Britain's number 1. Still another 3 British racers to go. Tanguy Neff for Switzerland's next to start, carrying bib number 10. A PB of 5th here. And that came in last year's race. Look at that little rut that's starting to form in the opening gates. You need to make sure you load the ski high and early in that little groove in the snow. Solid, consistent skiing. In the points, in the top 15 in over 50% of his races last season. He's 28 years of age now. Real journeyman of the Swiss squad. He went over to North America to complete his degree in Dartmouth College, New Hampshire, USA, originally out of Geneva. He's raced on the Pro Tour. But again, another racer with new skis this season. Another race. Oh, 1.44. Now, Pinero's opening first run time is starting to look better and better. Now, this is Albert Popov of Bulgaria. For those of you that followed the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour with us last season, you'd have enjoyed the celebration of Popov taking his first World Cup victory in Madonna di Campiglio. 45 years to the day that Bulgaria last won on the World Cup Tour in 1980, Peter Popangalov. Now, Popov is desperate to add more podiums, more victories to his name. It's the steep where his style, and he's one of the smaller men on the tour with a very low center of gravity, and that really helps his footwork on the steep pitch. Here he comes. Overskiing the steep. The loading of the turning ski. Also just a split second late. Needs to straighten out that turn, release a little earlier and quicker. Popov, slowest so far, down into 11th position, 1.86 off the pace. Well, the man from Bansko. Frustrating. Manu Feller for Austria. Always an exciting slalom skier to follow. And of course won the Crystal Globe, the Slalom Tour title, back in 2024. Always a threat to the world's best, but has been struggling with niggling back and shoulder issues over the past couple of seasons. But if he can put that behind him, well, look at these pictures, they tell the story. Dynamic, fast, furious, quick and slick from gate to gate. This is Manu Feller, all fired up, I should say, in the season opener. Never really been happy hunting ground for Manu Feller here. Have to go back quite a few seasons to find him in the top 10 here. 6 years ago, I believe, his last top 10. Little scrappy in those closing turns, little off balance. And that reflects in the final time, 1.87 off the pace, 12th position for Manu Feller. Let's go to the French team once again with Stephen Amier. Clément Noël, fastest for the French, holding runner-up position. Amier came so close to his first World Cup podium on numerous occasions. But still, no better than 4th, winning the first run in a couple of races last season. Only to drop out of the top 3. A huge talent, spectacular skier. And of course, from a famous ski racing family. His father, Sébastien Amier, an Olympic silver medalist. back in 2002, the Winter Games of Salt Lake City. Gold and silver for the French racers. JP Vidal took the gold and Amier the silver. Now, 27-year-old from Pralognan, La Vanoise. Beautiful little town just below Courchevel. Just needs to be careful that he doesn't overski this steep. Oh, this is good tempo and pace coming off the pitch into the closeout here. Stephen Amier could be in the chase for the French team. Amier goes 7th. He'll take that. Puts him in a good position to strike from on the second leg. Quite possibly the most unlucky racer of last season. But he knows it better than anybody. He knows what he needs. No celebrations from the coaches. But 2 French racers in the top 10. Samuel Koliga for Croatia. Sammy, as they call him on the team. Big breakthrough for Sammy Koliga last season. First World Cup podium in Madonna di Campiglio. Round 5 of 12 that were contested. Good, consistent racing in the early part of the tour. 9, 6, 5, 3. And that keeps him in the top 15 start list for this Olympic season. Now, look at him searching for more speed on this inviting opening section, weaving his way through the gates. 4/10 off the pace is good coming into the pitch now. Good core strength, very calm and quiet with the upper body. The undergate just spooks him a little. Oh, it spooks him a lot. And now Sam Koliga playing catch-up. Sami Koliga for Croatia. 1.37, joint 10th position with Dave Riding. But once again, 54.13 seconds for Lucas Pinheiro Braten. He's looking better and better. The last of the top 15 ranked racers carries the Swiss flag. This is Daniel Yule. 3rd in this race, back in 2019. But I suppose the biggest early season story for Daniel is after what feels like a whole career with the Fischer team, he's now made a switch to the Atomic team, which he's enjoying very much, but he said it's a learning process, this new equipment. That new learning process has also given him a fire in his racing once again. And look at Daniel Yule go on these new Redsters. 0.55. Very nice skiing indeed. Oh. Didn't quite work for him on the steep. Little further down the ranking than he would have hoped for. Slowest of the top 15 ranked racers. That's a tough one for Daniel Yule. Early turns and early gates were looking so promising, fast and dynamic. Just couldn't get that clean arc and smooth turn on that difficult steep pitch. Looking very cool as always. Lucas Pinheiro Braten, fastest man after the top 15 ranked racers, searching for Brazil's first ever World Cup victory here in Finland today. And Pinheiro has a healthy advantage over the Olympic slalom champion from Val d'Isère, France, Clément Noël. 0.41 ahead. Then Haugen 4.9, Strasser, McGrath. A surprise to see Henrik Kristoffersen 1.23 off the pace. Riding has work to do on the second run as well. 1.37 down on our Brazilian leader, Lucas Pinheiro Braten. Well, this is so good to see from Broughton, because the word, and there are a lot of rumours flying around, as you can imagine, before the season starts, that Pinheiro was not really on his A game or enjoying his pre-season prep. But of course, you can train as much as you like. You've got to deliver on game day, and I'm absolutely thrilled for Lucas picking up a little bit of negative press and not really getting the buzz on the mountain. But he skied beautifully in this first of two runs here today, and that time, 54.13 seconds, will take some beating. Let's move into the second group from 16 to 22 with Jakobsen of Sweden in the gate. Now, Christopher, now 31 years of age, finished 11th in this year. In this race last year, I should say. Then went on to claim a podium in Gurgle. Well, we'll be racing next Sunday for a Super Slalom Sunday live here on FIS TV. This is where he'll look to make up his speed here. Another racer that has a very short, sharp turn on the pitch. Oh, again, he's all out of shape and balance here. A little stumble, a little fumble, and yeah. The lightning skills of recovery are in full flow here. That is where the time is bleeding away. It's got to be much smoother and cleaner in the turn and with the tempo. A staccato, stop-start kind of performance from Jakobsen. Kind of went wrong for him on the flat. Never really recovered on the pitch. It's all happening too low and late in the line. That is a disappointing first run for Jakobsen. Maybe not even good enough to qualify. Now, after a spectacular day for the Stiefel American team here yesterday with a victory for Michaela Schifrin, let's take a look at the first of the American male tech racers, Benji Ritchie. Working really well with the British coach for the American team, Tristan Glass-Davies. Three top 10 results last season, including a personal best at the World Cup Finals in Sun Valley, Idaho, of 7th position. In the Green Mountain Valley School, he's a Vermont racer, East Coast. Now he's a World Cup traveller. These are good turns, 0.39. I like this technique. It's clean, it's calm. Not as quick with the purchase here. Yeah, just a little pensive, wasn't he, on the steep pitch here. Now he starts to go through the gears in the closeout. Slightly overskied the pitch, but this is still solid work from Benji Ritchie. 1.66, 13th position. Not quite as confident on the steep as we'd have hoped, but I love the work on the inviting opening turns. Another skier we're told to watch carefully. This is Vinny Vinazza. Rock solid 8th position in the opening giant slalom of the season. A really exciting and dynamic skier to follow and watch. Look at that green light. Very aggressive, really searching for speed. Now, if you can demonstrate the same kind of skills here through the steep pitch, this could be the first shake-up from the second group. 26 years of age now. 3 World Cup podiums, but yet to win one. Just got compressed onto the tails there, and it's the same again! And Vinny Vinazza is the first racer to go down and out. And that is a real shame. Absolute commitment in the opening turns, working the steep well. But once you get forced onto those tails of these much shorter slalom skis these days, a 1.65 he'll be skiing on. And he was heading for the top 10 with relative ease there, I'd say, Vinazza. But a DNF, and it's the day over for the Italian skier. Back to the French team. Two French racers holding positions in the top 10. That's Clément Noël and Stephen Amier lying 2nd and 7th. This is Victor Mouffajondet. Very experienced racer. World Cup start, 253 here today. One World Cup victory, 11 podiums. Now, the news for the Mouffajondet fans is that Victor has opted not to race giant slalom, but just to focus on slalom this season. So only 11 races on the Audi FIS Ski World Cup for Mouffajondet. Another skier out of the Val d'Isère Ski Club, and the World Cup Tour will be there before Christmas for the men and women. 13th and 14th, a giant slalom and slalom in Val d'Isère. 13th and 14th of December, of course. Not bad work here from Mouffajondet. He can find a 10th or two in the closeout. Top 15, which is the target for the Frenchman now. Solid. 16th position, 1.93. Dominic Rashner. Austrian racer, just on the cusp of cracking the top 10 last season. Skier I think we should watch. Really revels in the parallel format and discipline where he's picked up a couple of podiums in years gone by. World Cup start number 96 here today for Dominic, so again. Oh, and that undergate, it's slick, it's very icy, and it's causing most of the problems through those steep turns. And again, Dominic Rashner, clear errors coming in to the performance here. He's done well to stay on his feet. But you're not going to break the top flight with mistakes like that. And 2.41 seconds off the pace of our Brazilian leader. Dominic Rashner will need to watch that time carefully. That may not be good enough to qualify for the second run and earn the Austrian a place in the top 30. Filip Zubcic for Croatia. Remember, Pavel Grasic, Croatian coach, has set this first run pattern of turns. Already with points on the board for the Audi FIS Ski World Cup for the new season. 15th in the first giant slalom of the tour back in late October in Solden, Austria. Good, dynamic, fast feet on the opening turns. A real powerful athlete, very strong in the core. And this tight, aggressive line that Zubo is cutting here has him right in the chase. Now, as my American fellow commentators like to say, these are the money turns. Beast is holding up well, just like it did for yesterday's race in the women's competition. 1.44. Yep, the crowd are enjoying this. There's a good roar from the finish area. Filip Zubcic of Croatia, 13th position. That's good. Very good work indeed. I like the commitment. Really sending it on those top turns. Focuses on the smooth, skillful skiing on the steep. That's a good performance. Belgium are in the gate with Armand Marchand. 27 years of age, out of the global racing team. 4 top 15 results from 12 starts last season. Many people believe that this could be the big breakthrough season for Armand Marchand. Solid skier. Seems to have had more than his fair share of injuries and comebacks to deal with. 7 or 8 surgeries to date. It's a horrible stat. Ooh, he picked up a DNF in this race last year. I hope it doesn't happen again. Good recovery skills from Armand Marchand, but really adds to that final time against the clock here. 2.31, 19th position. Another skier who will watch his time of 56.44 seconds carefully, hoping that he's done enough to qualify for the second run. No change in the top nations. Brazil lead, France, Norway, Germany, and Norway making up the top 5. Here's the confirmation. Lucas Pinheiro sets the fastest time on this first run. I'm not sure there's anybody out there that can beat this now. Clement Noel, Timmy Haugen, Strasser, and McGrath, top 5. Christopherson, defending champion, 8th. British number 1, riding 10th. Group 3, 23 to bib 30. Interesting characters in here, including former podium performer here in Levi, Mickey Matt at 25 for Austria. And of course, Marco Schwarz. The crowd will be on their feet for Edward Hallberg, local hero, going with bib number 29 for the fearless Finns. Paco Rousseau will get the action back underway. Celebrated his 27th birthday on Thursday. One of the quieter men, I would say, of the French team. Surfer, guitar player, like most of the French racers. A huge soccer fan. Marseille and Man United, I'm told. But a huge heart. Now, didn't make the cut here last year, but last season hit the top 10 for the first time in Wengen. French coaches think a lot of this young lad. Likes to let his skis do the talking. Nice piece of control about this racing so far. He's got the feet and the skis exactly where he wants them to be. .07. This is good. Now, Paco Rousseau needs to drive, dip and dive. That is good work from Paco Rousseau. Into 12th position. 3 French racers in the top 15. Good control, good skiing skills. Now, Johannes Strolz, a real journeyman of the Austrian team. Take you back to the Winter Olympic Games of 2022 in Beijing, China. Gold in the Alpine Combined, gold in the team, and silver in the slalom. And then it started to go horribly wrong. All kinds of mental issues for the Austrian racer. But what I love about this guy is his tenacity. He has never once given up hope on a second Olympic dream. And he's getting it all back together just in time, I would say, for the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics of 2026. 4 years after he was the Austrian hero of those Winter Games. And here he comes again. This solid technique. A former police officer, of course, the son of the great Hubert Strolz. His father, an Olympic medalist as well. In comes Johannes Strolz. Nice piece of work. 19th position, 2.10. With the demons now behind him, let's hope Johannes Strolz can build on this first run performance into the second, because when this lad's got his confidence at an all-time high, he is quite a spectacular skier to follow. Mickey Matt next on course. Second to Marcel Hirscher here back in 2013, 12 years ago. Out of St. Anton, of course. Last season, no better than 9th. Because here's a racer with 1 World Cup victory against his name and 8 podiums. But I think what is niggling at the back of the mind of most of the Austrian racers, any of the skiers that are part of a big national team, is Olympic selection. 9 Norwegians, for example, in the race here today, but only 4 are allowed to ski for their country at the Winter Olympic Games. Where I'm going at with this story is some big names from the Austrian team may well be disappointed come that selection process for the Olympic slalom. And I think it's on February the 18th or 17th of next year. Mickey Matt, eye on the clock. Mickey Matt, 14th position. Really important for these racers from the big national teams to hit form early in the season, grab the attention of the Olympic selectors, as well as building their own confidence. Coming back from injury for the Italian team, this is Tommaso Sala. It's good to have him back after a left knee ACL operation. Kept him away from the tour for most of last season. Word is that it's strong. Sala is hungry to get back into the top seed. Oh, and what a comeback performance this is so far. Excellent opening turns from the 30-year-old Italian. This is his 80th World Cup start here today. Yet to find the podium. Really in a good frame of mind here. Ooh, there's the first little stumble. Got the feet a little too two-footed. But considering this man's been away for a whole season, the rust soon came off the edges. Tommaso Sala, 24th position. Is Santa Claus watching on? Having a little break before the busy month. Santa, of course, will be presenting the winners of this men's race with a reindeer as well. Adrian Petel of Austria. Made a big breakthrough back in 2021 at the World Championships. Took a silver medal there after his first career podium in 2020. But hasn't really been able to build on those performances throughout the rest of his career to date. Still only 1 World Cup podium against his name. Petel, who was 15th in this race last year. And again, another skier who knows that the selection for the Winter Olympic Games to represent your country like Austria, well, can be brutal. You can be ranked in the top 20, even the top 15 in the world, and still not get selected to the Olympic squad. Petel just struggling a little bit on the steep, coming fast and furious in the closeout. But Petel is 2.28 seconds slower than Pinheiro. 56.41 is the time for the Austrian race. I'm not sure whether that will be quick enough to get him into the top 30 qualification for the second run. Frustrating. Marco Schwarz next on course. Brilliant second position in the opening giant slalom of the season. And of course, a former World Cup slalom champion. Schwarz took the slalom crystal globe in this discipline back in 2021. We're all waiting to hear which or how many disciplines he will race in this season. For me, this gentleman on screen is one of the few that can challenge for the overall title against Marko Odermatt. Of course, Odermatt not in action this weekend in Finland. The world #1 does not ski the slalom discipline, just downhill Super G and a giant slalom. But you can see confidence is high here from Schwarz. The balance is back. The movements are smooth and clean. He's a very deceptive, stylish skier. And Schwarz is going through the gears here. This is looking very promising. 1.34. Top 10 is the target for Marco Schwarz. Picking it up into top gear in the closeout here. Marco Schwarz for Austria. A roar from the crowd. Marco Schwarz, 15th position. He'll look to build on that on the second leg. I really enjoyed my time with Marco on the FIS official podcast, Alpine Pulse Unplugged. Here we go. With the fearless Finns, it's Edward Hallberg. 24th in this race last year. Now, Finnish athlete, male Finnish athlete, has never finished in the top 10 here. Kalle Palander holds the record of 11th position, but Hallberg, who will be seen on the World Cup Tour regular this season. And of course, the Longines young rising ski star of the 25 season. He moved to Norway to attend the Oppdal Ski Academy. Ooh. Oh, this is good from Hallberg. He's got to keep his balance, keep his calm in the closeout. The Finnish fans are on their feet. In comes Hallberg, and Finland are in the hunt. That is 5th position, and Finland could well win today. Edward Hallberg has the Finns screaming with delight. Spectacular performance from the fearless Finn. Oh, that has set this race alight. Not just the fans. It sends a message up to the top of the racetrack that this first run is far from over. And the last of the top 30 is Luca Erni. Erni will have heard the roars from the crowd. Erni will know that the piste is holding up well. Just when we were starting to feel that the hunt for the big positions on the first run was over, and that is spectacular. Luca Erni for Switzerland. Said to have found a new vein of form with his new Fischer boots. And 0.69. On the same brand of skis as Hallberg as well. Oh, that's a little low and late out of the racing line there. You see how he stabs the pole in the snow to stop the drift going any further, but look how it knocks a real hole in the clock. Ah, that's a shame for Luca Erni. And a question mark against Erni's name if that is good enough to qualify. 29th position, 57.58 is the actual time on the clock, but almost 3.5 seconds behind Pinero. Nope, I am pretty sure that this is the end of Luca Erni's day here in Finland. He'll look ahead to next weekend's Super Slalom Sunday in Gurgel, Austria. So off, the top 30 ranked racers have completed the first of the 2 runs. Brazil, France, Norway, Germany and Finland now make up the top 5. And what a fantastic spread of nations there, with Brazil's Pinero leading, Clement Noel, Timi Haugenstrasse and Hallberg. Riding and Kaliga of Croatia and Great Britain down in 11th position. And the racers on this page will be waiting patiently but nervously in the finish area. I'm not sure all of those skiers that you see on that final page of graphic and result will qualify for the second run. There are still a lot of talented racers to go, and there are still another 51 starters in this first leg, all vying for a spot in the top 30 and a qualification going into the second run. Well, a good graphic there, giving the critical sections, which we've talked about before, on the steep pitch, and then the transition from the pitch to the lower part of the racetrack. We'll go now from 31 to 50. We'll be seeing the return of AJ Guinness, the Greek racer with bib 31, two British racers, Laurie Taylor, Billy Major at 32 and at 34, Ramon Zenhuizen. Very exciting and interesting group of racers here now. Any one of them has got the skill and the back form to shake up those top positions. Now, this is the Greek racer, AJ Guinness, born in Athens, grew up in the United States of America, where he went to the Green Mountain Valley School Academy. Now back racing for Greece and back from injury, almost a year away from World Cup competition. But looking sharp. Good opening turns. 0.15 off the pace at Sector 1. And under half a second here. Good skillful skiing from AJ. 30 years of age now. Oh, there you see the turn goes horribly wrong for Guinness. And that undergate, banane as the French like to call it, taking a lot of the pace out of the performance from the Greek racer. Battles bravely to regain the racing line and find some good pace in the closeout. But the errors were clearly there to be seen. AJ Guinness, 28th position, 2.65. Well, a lot to take away from that performance, AJ. Let's go to Laurie Taylor of Great Britain. Recently married this summer to Hannah Taylor. Congratulations. But now Laurie's back in the office and back to slalom work here. A lot of natural speed from Laurie Taylor. Look at that double pole push. Taylor now, 0.49. It's all down to this steep pitch. It always is the make or break of the race here in Levi, Finland. As Laurie Taylor, coached by Raini and Alan Baxter. Oh, he just gets a little bit late. Good recovery skills from the 29-year-old British racer. World Cup start 67. 1.45 is where it needs to be. Laurie Taylor now needs a strong closeout here to guarantee a qualification on the second run. Taylor is there. 15th position. Second British racer to qualify. Solid performance from Taylor. Istok Rodeš for Croatia. Two top 15 results to close out the 25 season from Istok. Now, Rodeš. Just giving that steep pitch a little too much respect. These are better turns coming off the steep pitch into the closeout. But not enough commitment on the upper part of the slope. 31st position. Rodeš will not be back for the second run. Here's the British number 3, Billy Major. Billy Major switching equipment, moving to the head team this season. And picked up a very impressive top 10 result in Hafjell, Norway last season. And that's what he's looking to match now. Good work again on the upper section from the British racer. Just half a second off the pace. Get that good, clean purchase on the turning ski. Billy Major here, flowing nicely, accurate on the gate. Transition now is the make or break. Can we make it 3 from 3? Qualifying for the second leg. Oh, he's going to have to go some in the closeout here now. Billy Major finds the turbo in the lower turns. Billy Major now dips and dives. Is it good enough for the second run? Billy Major, 20th position. Surely that is good enough to come back for the second leg. 3 out of 3 so far for the British team. Ramon Zenhuizen. Another ski superstar that has gone from hero to zero and now on his way back up again. Look at that Sector 1 split time. Just 600ths off the pace. The tallest man of the World Cup tour. Oh, the 6'8", 2 meters 2. Very long levers sensational balance and feel through the feet. He's still got it at half a second. It looks a little cumbersome and awkward, doesn't it? But Zennhuizen, he's just trying everything to let the speed flow. Oh, what a shame for Ramon. And Ramon Zennhuizen, 2.61, 30th position, sadly, for Ramon. Yeah, his day is over. Apologies for the wording and performance sum up there from Ramon Zennhuizen. Here's Sebastian Holzmann for Germany, out of the Oberstdorf Ski Club. Another skier on the comeback from injury, missing the whole of the 2025 Tour. And just looking a little tentative, looking a little race rusty. Confidence not quite there. It is real boilerplate ice out there right now. 2.84, 34th position. Sebastian Holzmann, welcome back to the Audi FIS Ski World Cup, but sadly for the German racer, no second run. Germany's hopes pinned on Linus Strasser, holding 4th place. Marc Rocha enjoyed the birth of his son in the off-season, this past summer. Rocha again determined to get a good early start to the season. Mark knows how difficult and how hot places will become for the Swiss Olympic squad. Marc Rocha, again, it's getting a little bit rough and cut and rutted on that steep pitch. Really testing these later numbers ski skills. Marc Rocha's going to miss the cut here, sadly. No qualification for the Swiss racer, 36th position. Tobias Kaslunger, 26-year-old from the World Cup resort of Kronplatz. Beautiful ski area in the Italian Dolomites. PB of 7th position on last season's tour. Never backed it up with a second top 15 result. Here's a skier that's learned the hard way. But consistency is the name again. This is good work from Kaslunger. Enjoying the steep much more than the inviting upper section. 1.64. This will have the Italian close to qualification. He knows it's good. Really coming home with a power play in the closeout. And 22nd position. Well skied. Tobias Kaslunger. That should be good enough to come back for the second leg. Sam Mays of Belgium. Already with his first World Cup points on the board after taking 20th position in the opening giant slalom of the season in Sölden, Austria, back in late October. Races for Belgium, but spent most of his life in Zellamzee, out of the Saalfelden Sports Gymnasium. And now, of course, trains with the really successful global racing team. Ooh, 26th position. So far, so good for Sam Mays. But no celebrations. He knows that's very close to the cut. Bib 40. Oscar Andreas Sandvik. Europa Cup slalom champion of last season, earning himself a start on the World Cup Tour for the whole of 26. And has scored just one World Cup result in his career to date. 15th in his home slalom in Hafjell, Norway. Oh, Sandvik's gone. Well, great recovery skills. He's lost the focus a little. The rhythm and tempo has gone. One to watch. By winning the slalom title in the Europa Cup, he gets a start on the World Cup throughout the whole of this season. But not today's day for Sandvik. Des Grip. 25-year-old French racer. He's very proud to state that his World Cup PB is 18th in the Kitzbühel Slalom of last season. World Cup start number 21 here today for Hugo. Oh, he's struggling, isn't he, to get that right foot purchase clean and smooth. It's just dropping him a little low and late in the time. He's having to make a correction basically on every turn. And that takes him out of the top 30 into 32nd position. Des Griep, no second run. Jet Seymour for the United States of America from Steamboat Springs, Colorado, out of the University of Denver. Kristen Glass-Davis is the American slalom coach. And also the American men's team head coach is the Glaswegian Mark Tilston. Oh, but Jet's in trouble here, and it's, well, spectacular skiing skills from Jet Seymour, but unfortunately it takes a lot of the pace and tempo out of the performance, and the American will not qualify for the second run. Stiefel team have Benji Ritchie holding 20th position. Simon Ruland, Austrian racer, on and off with injury. So it's good to see that he's a late developer, Ruland, now 28 years of age, and only his 22nd World Cup start here. It shows how the perception of age on the World Cup Tour is changing rapidly. If you hadn't made it by your early 20s, particularly in the Austrian team, you were put into retirement. But here, Ruland has been given a chance. And now, of course, mid-30s is quite common on both the men's and the women's World Cup Tour. And Dave Riding, one of the oldest in the race today, at 38 years of age. No qualification for Ruland, but good to have him back with us on the World Cup circuit. Now, Theodor Braken, 2025 World Junior Slalom Champion. Now, we'll be watching Theodor's performance carefully, because the British racer who took the bronze in that World Junior Championship Slalom, Luca Carrick-Smith, will be racing later on in this first of the two runs. He really got the better of this young Norwegian rising star, but again, you can see here, Braken still only 21 years of age in his 11th World Cup start here, just struggling on that steep pitch. It's getting very cut-rutted and rough and tough, to say the least. And there's the time to qualify on the right of your screens, 56.54. World Junior Champion misses it. Valuable experience, but 40th position has Theodor Braken. Unable to qualify for the second run. Sturm of Austria wears 45. He's from the famous glacier Pitchtal, out of the Benny Reich Academy. And for those of you that like all of your nostalgia and history, Benny Reich is the most famous racer from the Pitchtal Glacier. Won the Levi World Cup Slalom, the very first World Cup Slalom here for the men in 2006, ahead of Marcus Larsson and Giorgio Rocca. Benny, I hope you're tuning into FIS TV this morning, and we wish you well. Sturm, 56.54 the target. No second run. Cruel, painful, 31st position.
Go this, buddy. Let's go.
Luke Winters for the United States of America. And that is unfortunate for Winters, bringing a pole with him. Oh, Cool Hand they call him, from Gresham, Oregon, USA. And the pole, one of the gates, gets knocked out. He travels with it, but clearly affects his vision, focus. and clearly caused the DNF. Not quite sure. The race is on hold because the course repairs need to be made. Is that something that Luke Winters would maybe put in a protest for and try and look for a rerun? Right now, Luke Winters appears on the commentary box computer screen here as a DNF. This is AX Schwarz, Fabian Ack Schwarz as he's known. Now Fabian here, 21 years of age. Seems like he's been on the World Cup for an eternity, but it's 26th World Cup start here. PB last season at senior level, 11th position in the World Cup slalom in Alta Badia. Very successful at junior level. Talented youngster. Taking full advantage of being part of the Van Dier team. And training with the likes of Christopherson, Timmy Haugen. Now Fabian Ack Schwarz. Just waiting for a few course repairs here. The Finnish fans still buzzing after that 5th position from Edward Hallberg. Plenty of support for the Swedish skiers as well. Hasn't been a good day for the Swedish tech racers. Moment, Sweden still looking for somebody to qualify. The second leg, Fabian Ack Schwarz waits patiently. How many of you remember Sweden winning this race here in Levi back in 2012? Andre Möre. Brilliant performance. Beating Marcel Hirscher with Jens Bigmark, also of Sweden, taking 3rd position. Möre was also 3rd here in 2018. Sweden has got good form on the Levi Black race piste here in Levi. Now, this is a story to follow here. Luke Winters has his skis off. Is he skiing out of the racetrack, or is he going to put in a protest for a potential rerun? We'll follow that story carefully. 47 on course. Fabian Ack Schwarz for Sweden. Sweden still looking for a racer to qualify for the second run. And their last winner here, as we said earlier, the former Olympic slalom champion, Andre Möre. Sweden's last winner in 2012. Oh, and it's turning into a nightmare day here. Not the start to the new slalom tour the Swedish team were hoping for. Cuts their line just a millimetre too tight. Fabian Ack Schwarz picks up a straddle and a DNF. Louis Mullen-Schuldt of Australia wears that 48. 27-year-old, originally born in Melbourne, moved over to the United States of America, where he skied in the Sugar Bowl Academy and was out of the Montana State University. Oh, and another DNF. Well, the racers know in these later numbers you have to put everything on the line to try and make that top 30. Solberg next on course. Erik Solberg. Strong giant slalom skier. Big breakthrough for Erik in the opening GS of the season back in late October in Solden, Austria. 25th position. And he was 23rd in this race last year from a start number of 51. So you can see and look and feel that there's a real air of confidence, isn't there, about this young Norwegian's performance. Now these gates have become a little rough and rutted. You really need to load that turning ski high and work it through. And this is good technique, this is good work, and this may be a dream come true here, because Erik Hastad Solberg might make the cut. He makes the cut into 25th position. Skillful skiing from the Norwegian. Looked confident from the get-go. Good to see this gentleman back. Jung Dong-hyun from Korea, 37 years of age now. Part of the support group in Korea. Oh, he's gone. Hosted the Winter Olympic Games of 2018 on a comeback from injury. That's a shame. Good turns on the upper part of the challenge here for Korea's top World Cup slalom racer. So after the top 50 ranked racers, no change in the top positions. Brazil, France and Norway hold positions 1 to 3 with Broughton, Clement Noel and Timon Haugen. Then we see Linus Strasser fourth. Hallberg has the home fans on the edge of their seats. Good news for the British team with Riding and Laurie Taylor in the top 15. These are the racers that didn't ski quite quick enough to qualify for that second run. Only the fastest 30, and the top 30 go in reverse order, remember, on the second leg at 1 p.m. Central European time today. 51 all the way through till the end of this first leg to 81. We're all looking forward to seeing Luca Carrick-Smith for Great Britain make his World Cup debut. And look at those three Finns to wrap it all up. Servio Tovinen and Maximo. All looking to follow in the footsteps of Edward Hallberg, who took 5th position from start number 29. Let's take a look at Matteo Canis, 27-year-old Italian skier. 13th World Cup start for Matteo. It's been a tough first run for the Italian team as well. You have to go all the way down to Toby Kaslunga. 22nd position. What a shame for Vinny Vinats, that was so close to breaking into the top 10. But Canis here, good commitment on the upper section. This steep pitch is getting really rough and tough. It's good and firm and icy underfoot, but there are lots of judder marks now, and it's a DNF for Canis. I think we're going to see quite a few DNFs now. This piste condition is very difficult for the later numbers. Hans Grolmadsen of Norway. '22-year-old. Another very talented young Norwegian. They have so many of them, but again, this piste condition is proving very difficult. Quite a nasty twisting fall there for Hans. Gustav Wisting of Sweden, World Junior Championship silver medalist, and also a top 20 World Cup point score last season in the night event of Madonna di Campiglio. Talented youngster, this lad. Still only 20 years of age, just 9th World Cup start here today. Oh, he too is really struggling to hold on here. But what I like to watch is these young guys really fight for every turn. No shortage of commitment whatsoever from Wisting. He'll not qualify for the second run. These piste conditions are really going against these later start numbers now, but still some real skiing skills. Yohei Koyama, 27-year-old Japanese racer. We've seen him break into the top 10 just once in his career. That was 3 years ago now, again in Madonna di Campiglio, where Yohei took 8th position. This is a good closeout from Japan. Can he better 56.44? Yes, he's there! Yohei Koyama! 1.7 off the pace, earns himself a spot in the second leg. Jesper Pohjolainen next out, third in the Europa Cup slalom standings. Sister Rosa picked up some points in the women's slalom heel yesterday. And Jesper looking good in the opening turns as well. Look at this split time at Sector 2. 0.45 off the pace. Here's another fearless Finn looking to join Hallberg. Oh, listen to the Finnish crowd. Roar Pohjolainen home, 1.94. Transition is good. He saved a little in the tank to power play. These turns home, 56.41. And he's there, 30th position. Oh! Well, that is good enough for qualification, but there are still some talented racers. Now, Luke Winters has been given a rerun due to a problem with the pole. Can he take advantage of getting on this first run for the second time? The American team putting in a protest due to the gate that wasn't put back into its position properly, clearly affecting the pathway for the American racer. And Winters has missed the cut. Second time of asking, 43rd position, 2.94. Now, back to the race with the normal numbers. This is Joachim Salarich. Here's a story that I love to tell. Spain won the Olympic slalom gold in Sapporo back in 1972. The only Spanish winter Olympic gold, Francisco Paquito Fernandez Ochoa. And that is what each and every one of these Spanish racers use as their goal and their target. Joaquim unlucky there. Just missing the cut in the high 30s. Antoine Azoulin of France. He's the real joker of the French team. There's a wonderful video that I saw on Instagram of Antoine doing some aerobic dancing. Just tap in his name to your search engine. I'm sure you'll find it. He's got a real sense of humour, this lad, but he's also got some skiing skills. This is nice work from Antoine Azoulin. Only his 8th World Cup start here, just 22 years of age. Oh, he's in trouble! And doesn't he get out of that one very skillfully? Unfortunately for Antoine, it takes a lot of the speed and pace out of the performance. He's not going to make the cut. He's not going to make the qualification time. But if it were not for that mistake, we'd be seeing Antoine Azolin on the second leg. He knows it. William Hansen of Sweden wears 58. Away from the tour for quite a while after a very serious leg break, but we're told he's back and back strong now. Solid GS skier. Let's take a close look at his slalom form coming into this Olympic season. Hansen's in all kind of trouble. Almost coming to a stop and then a restart. And due to that error, the bottom of the pitch misses the qualification time. Mikael Remsi. Now Remsui, 23-year-old Norwegian, showing their strength and depth here today. 5th World Cup start. .56.40, watch it carefully. That's unlucky. Juan del Campo Hernandez, 31 years of age, for skiing for Spain. Oh, he's lost his pole. And on the top of the steep section, the pole plays such an important role for your balance and your timing. That was a great recovery from Juan. Oh, that's a shame again. That small error and grappling for the ski stick takes Del Campo Hernandez out of the top 30. Anton Tremmel of Germany wears 61. Germany still buzzing with the opening performance of Lina Strasser with his new skis to start this Olympic season. Lina Strasser, the fastest of the Germans, and in 4th position, very much ready for a shootout against Lucas Pinheiro Broughton. Tremmel, 33rd position, so close. Tommaso Saccardi, 24-year-old Italian racer, looking to make the step up from the second league, the Europa Cup Tour, to the World Cup. But if he can keep skiing like this, it won't be long before he does. 0.27 off the pace, now 0.28. Very accurate, looking strong on his skis. I like that really wide base that he carries. Now it's 1.65, but he's got a chance of qualifying here, and qualifying with a real high number. Oh no, Saccardi! What went wrong there? Oh, he's lost his concentration. 3 from home, falls on the inside. And that was looking good. The top 30 qualification. Big disappointment for the Italian. Buzek for the USA, 63. Now Stanley Buzek. Yep, he's come to the piece with the right technique here. Just getting a little deep late in the line, but he's getting that ski in the rut nice and early. It's a DNF for the 20-year-old American skier making his World Cup debut here today. These are tough conditions and a very difficult piece indeed to make your World Cup debut on. 64 is Matthias Itten, Swiss racer. 6th World Cup start. And we're told from Tom Stauffer, Matteo Joris, the head coach and slalom coach, that this lad goes well in training, but still struggling to convert that to racing. Here we go with 65, Luca Carrick-Smith, the eldest of the 3 Carrick-Smith boys that are the new legacy of British ski racing. Coached by dad, Phil Smith, and 4 times Olympian mother, Emma Carrick-Smith. Oh, and he's got it wrong on the rollers. The World Junior Championship bronze medalist. A DNF, sadly, for Luca. Still 3 British racers to come in the second leg at lunchtime today. But that's a little disappointing for Luca Carrick-Smith in his World Cup debut here in Finland today. Here's the established Canadian racer, Eric Reed. Eric Reed sees his world rank drop after a difficult season in 2025. Needs to draw on his experience now. .03, but now it's gone to 3.24, and this piste condition through the steep has Eric Reed dancing and diving. Does well to hold it together, but it's not quick enough to qualify for the second run. Richard Leitgeb, Hungarian skier. Leitgeb, who's done most of his skiing and racing in Austria, but Hungarian skiers starting to make their mark on the Audi FIS Ski World Cup Tour. Zita Tot picked up some World Cup points in the women's competition here yesterday. Oh, and there's the DNF for Richard Leitgeb. Onto the tails of the skis. Underneath they go. The feet whipped under the body. Let's go to Estonia, Tuomas Laine. Another skier that's gone through the Austrian race system. He's out of the Stamm Ski Academy. Oh, and there's another straddle on the entrance to the steep pitch. This is Cooper Puckett from the Stiefel American ski team. Those are good turns on the opening section, and Puckett here working these rollers very nicely. Good footwork. The clock is with him all the way here, 0.39. Now, if he can just keep this flow and rhythm through the steep pitch, Puckett is going to qualify with the highest bib number. Just 22 years of age, in only his 4th World Cup start, still keeps that pace and rhythm flowing nicely. Oh, this is really good from Cooper Puckett, from the famous Puckett ski race family of the USA. He's there, 26th position. Cooper Puckett with a dynamic and stylish ski qualifies for the second run. Nothing but commitment from the get-go. That's excellent skiing. Puckett is rewarded with a start in the second leg. And I'm pretty sure that'll be the highest bib number to qualify for the second leg later today.
Let's go.
Bulgaria, Zlatkov in only his third World Cup start. Take it back a couple of seasons and this guy was really skiing well on the Europa Cup tour. Coming back from injury, having lost a lot of his world ranking points. Oh, and there's the early DNF for the Bulgarian. That's a shame. Peter Lunde, Norwegian youngster, 20 years of age, making his World Cup debut here. Lunde from a very famous sports and winter sports family. His mum, an Olympic racer for Norway. 20 years of age, he still looks like he's got a bit of filling out to do. He reminds me a little bit of Steen Olsen, doesn't he? Alexander Steen Olsen, still away from the World Cup tour from injury, but another young Norwegian protege that we've watched grow over the seasons and become more powerful and strong. But this lad's got some skiing skills. Let's watch the clock carefully. 56.28 is the target. Oh, Lunde, unfortunately, in his World Cup debut, fails to qualify. Corrado Barbera, 23 years of age. Another skier looking to step up from the Europa Cup tour and make his mark in World Cup competition. Unable to make that qualification, 3.9 off the pace, 56th position for Barbera. This is Svetko Lucic, the brother of Zrinka Lucic, the Women's World Cup Slalom champion from last season. Sister had a good day in the office yesterday, finishing in 6th position. But oh, and Svetko, he thought he'd made a mistake. He has to come in and out of the flush the wrong way, and that will be a DNF. Dominik Zerhoch, young German racer, making his World Cup debut here today. Out of the ski club of Partenkirchen. Got a few of the traits, hasn't he, of Lina Strasser in his skiing style and technique, and also a lot of Felix Neureuter. He's clearly watched Neureuter, a former winner here for Germany, of course, back in 2017. Yeah, good skier. Not sure he's going to make the cut here today, but coached by Christian Schweiger, head coach for the German men's team. Not bad at all. Liam Wallace for Canada next on course.
Let's go!
30 World Cup starts against his name, Liam Wallace. Success on the second league of competition, the NORAM Tour, in his career to date. Now at 26 years of age. Oh, that is close, but not close enough. 39th position for Liam Wallace, wearing bib 75 for Canada. This is Adam Novacek for Slovakia. Oh, and he too straddles on the entrance to the steep. This is Bartomeu Guterres for Andorra. And Guterres Look at that rut that's formed on the turning gate now. You can see it. And that forces the skier to make a slightly rounder turn. And it also makes you get lower and later. Look at this young Andorran here, really pushing. 25 years of age, making his World Cup debut here in Levi today. Yeah, he's doing Andorra proud here. This is good skiing. Oh, but he's in trouble now, and there it is, all over for Andorra's sole representative in this World Cup slalom race today. 4 to go. This is Australia's Hugh McAdam. Now the 25-year-old in his 8th World Cup start here. Unfortunately, Murin Schultz picked up a DNF. Look at this again, 0.39. Good skiing skills from Hugh McAdam on the top part of the challenge. Right in touch. In and out of Sector 1, Sector 2, 1.17. He's on track for qualification. Through the indicator, and that's what's causing most of the trouble. Oh, and big mistake there from Hugh, taking a lot of the pace out of the performance. That's a shame because the Aussie was flying until that point in the challenge. Good recovery skills. Well skied Hugh McAdam. One mistake denies Australia the chance of qualification here today. 3 local races now. Salomo Silvio. Early DNF. Oh. Let's take a look. No time for the replay, I'm afraid. Turo Torvinen. Now, Torvinen very much the local lad here. He's from Rovaniemi. Oh, he's really battling here, but he's low and late in that racing line. Oh, and he's gone. Torvinen, a DNF. And the last racer of this first run, again, one of the Finnish racers making his World Cup debut here is Felix Maximo. And this is why they call them the Fearless Finns. He's absolutely charging in the opening turns, but he's gone way too direct in the roller. And it is a DNF for the final skier in the first of the 2 runs here today. So let's wrap up this first of the 2 runs. And it's been a spectacular performance from the Brazilian racer, Lucas Pinheiro Bratton, setting the first and fastest run time of 54.13. Looking to chase him down on the second leg, Olympic champ Clement Noel, Haugen, Linus Strasser, and what a result for the host nation, Finland, with Edward Hallberg taking 5th position. 3 British racers in the top 20, riding Taylor and Major, 11th, 15th, and 19th. And Daniel Yule in joint 29th position with Sam Mays means that Pohjalainen will not, unless there's a disqualification in between the runs, make that second run cut. But it is Lucas Pinheiro Bratton with a comfortable first run lead over 0.4 of a second on the Olympic champion Clement Noel and almost half a second on Timmy Haugen of Norway, that will be the man to beat on the second run. And those of you that are unfamiliar with the rules and regulations of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup technical races, that's slalom and giant slalom, the top 30 will start the second run, but they will start in reverse order. So Pinheiro will have to deal with the rougher and tougher piste conditions if he's to take this first slalom of the Audi FIS Ski World Cup. Timmy Haugen needs to make up just under half a second against the Brazilian leader. if he's to win here in Levi. This is last year's winner in slow motion. Clement Noel will look for that second run charge. And could today be an historical day for the Brazilian Ski Federation, potentially winning their first ever World Cup race with Lucas Pinheiro Broughton. Let's have a look at this winning run. It was quite special, to say the least. As we were saying in our live commentary, the word from the training piece was that Pinheiro wasn't looking that sharp, or certainly as sharp as we've seen him in seasons gone by when he lifted the World Cup Slalom Crystal Globe back in 2023. But as the coaches often say, training is one thing, racing is another. And here we see Pinheiro find top gear from the first to the final gate here. An air of skill, accuracy, combined with confidence and calm, took Pinheiro to the top of the table in the first of the two runs. And a lovely balance is what I liked. Aggressive, yes, but also skillful. The footwork very accurate and calm, bringing a lot of speed off the steep, and a very dynamic charging closeout from the Brazilian skier. Yeah, that was beautiful. Deservedly top position after the first run. And now we turn our attention to the second run, hoping that the Brazilian can take his first World Cup victory racing for South America. Just a quick note for you that the second run begins at 1 p.m. Central European time. That's 2 p.m. here in Finland local time. We'll be live on air here at FIS TV 10 minutes before the get-go with a quick update from the first run before going live into the second with the top 30 qualifiers going in reverse order. Plenty to look forward to at lunchtime today. On behalf of the FIS TV team and myself, Nick Fellows, until 1 p.m. CET, it is many thanks for your company and goodbye for now.